Welcome back to Lights, Camera, Action. I'm your host, Jonathan Woodring, and I'm going to bring you more news stories. Some of them are going to be a little bit older, just because this script was written a little while back. I tried to mix in as many new ones as possible, but just to preface that, there are going to be some old ones. So the stories we have for today are the Halo series trailer, the Uncharted Reviews, the Mission Impossible 7 and 8 delays, Jason Momoa and his talks to play the villain in Fast and Furious 10, the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness trailer, and the Batman theme and clip. First, I want to give a word to my sponsor. Exercising and maintaining one's health, especially in COVID and during COVID, is a really, really big struggle for a lot of people. If any lady is looking for a place to exercise, well, I might have the place for you. Grace Bar is located on Lee Victory Parkway in Smyrna, Tennessee. It's an exercising class that helps maintain your physical, mental, and your spiritual health. My mother went there not long after a surgery that she had, and she found out that it made her life a whole lot better because it exercised both her mental and spiritual health, and as well her physical health. The very first class will be completely free. That's right, completely free. After that, every other class you'll have to pay for. So think of this class as a demo. I would encourage you to try it out as much as possible because I'm sure that you'll have a great time there because everyone there is extremely encouraging. And if you didn't know, they started off every exercising class with a quote of the day. And that helps to exercise your spiritual and mental health. And it helps to encourage you and keep going. So Grace Bar, thank you for sponsoring this video. Our second sponsor for this video is also Sweet Treats by Jess. Sweet Treats by Jess is a Facebook page run by Jess Huber, a family friend of mine. She is very, very nice and she exercises a lot of craft into her treats that she crafts. Sweet Treats by Jess specializes in treats for both holidays and small events such as birthdays. Look at the treats on screen here. I really want to eat them. They look delicious. In fact, I did get a couple of treats for her over Valentine's Day, and that was very, very nice. And they were very good. They were these little chocolate bombs. They were delicious. So with all that being said, thank you, Ms. Huber, for sponsoring this video. I really appreciate it. And let's get on to the video. The official trailer for the upcoming Halo TV show just dropped on January 30th. The show will star Pablo Schreiber as Master Chief. It takes place in the 26th century during the conflict between the humans and the Covenant. The show will premiere exclusively on Paramount Plus on March 24th of this year. So in regards to this news, my biggest takeaway from this is obviously Halo and the amount of content that we've gotten from Halo over the past few years. Obviously the newest game, Halo Infinite, just dropped. And alongside that, we will also get a Halo series, and we have just gotten the trailer, as I said. I don't know too much about Halo, to be honest. The most I know about it, I've gotten information on in the past year or so. I'm really, really new to Halo and its lore, so I'm not the best spokesperson in terms of how this show looks or whether it looks faithful. The biggest concern with this show is just kind of the time period it takes place in. It looks like this is a lot more about humans, and it looks to be taking place a lot of it on Earth, possibly. And in regards to the look of the show, it does look kind of like a fan film-esque. It looks a little bit cheap, but I guess with Halo, it's really hard to make it look great. I think if you want great cinematography for that, it'd probably be better just to do a Halo movie, but the amount of information that you're going to have to convey, it's better to do a series. It's kind of complicated, so we'll see how it is. It drops on Paramount Plus on March 24th of this year. I'll check it out, so we'll see. The next news story is Uncharted and the reviews that just dropped online. So the reviews for the new Uncharted movie have come out as mostly negative. As we know, the film stars Tom Holland as Nathan Drake and Mark Wahlberg as Victor Sullivan, as long as a bunch of other people in the movie. I've already listed them off in other videos and whatnot. So the movie will release officially to the public on February 18th. As far as we know, it's just a bunch of critic reviews. And critics and fans, it really goes one way. For certain movies, I'm assuming for this, a lot of audience members will probably enjoy this movie. because it stars Tom Holland. It's an action movie and it's a Sony movie, so a lot of people will probably like this. But as far as like critics go, it probably won't be very well received in that regard. So this was kind of expected, to be completely honest, for me. A lot of video game movies are not very good, and there's a reason for that, because most video games have, well, all video games have something that movies don't have, which is gameplay. It's not just the story that's being presented, it's also the game and how it plays and how fun it is. Uncharted especially is a very parkour, puzzle-based kind of game. It's a shooter, it's a third-person shooter, and I don't know if a game like that really lends itself well to a movie, just because a lot of gameplay is involved there. There's a lot of time dedicated to not just shooting, but also puzzles and solving the puzzles. And trying to condense it down into a 2.5-hour movie is not doing the game justice. In fact, a lot of games that do get adapted to movies are already in some way disrespecting the license, because those games, again, have gameplay, and movies, there's really no interaction there physically from the audience. It's more just emotions and how you feel about the characters and whatnot. So this is to be expected. All that being said, I have not seen the movie. There have been a lot of movies that critics have said are horrible that I've really, really enjoyed. And the same goes both ways. There are a lot of things that critics have said are great that I haven't enjoyed, and so this could very well just be something that critics don't like and maybe I like, who knows. Mission Impossible 7 and 8 just got delayed officially. So both of these movies were being filmed simultaneously. They've been in production for months, and they just got pushed to 2023 and 2024 respectively. That is, Mission Impossible 7 got pushed back to 2023 and 8 2024. They have been pushed back obviously due to the pandemic and how probably the studio thinks these movies are going to do and what time they're being released. It's kind of unknown, so. However, Cruise will apparently be seen on screen this year on May 27th with Top Gun Maverick. That due date on that movie hasn't been pushed back at all, so it's very possible that he could show up, but I doubt that movie will have a good chance of being released on May 27th. They'll probably delay it because I haven't seen any new promotional material for this movie. This could just be them waiting for a trailer, who knows, but as far as we know, it's still due to release on May 27th, so who knows. Anyways, back to Mission Impossible. We haven't gotten a trailer, and I really, really liked... I don't think there's been a complete, like a horrible Mission Impossible movie. Even the second one, which a lot of people dislike, obviously. The clips I've seen, they look hilarious at the least bit. They look really, really funny. So Mission Impossible 7 and 8, I am still excited for these movies. The biggest concern is that obviously them being pushed back, but also them filming simultaneously. I don't know if these are going to be films that relate in any way, or if they're just conveniently being filmed simultaneously. But I'm looking forward to them because Tom Cruise is, he's nuts. He does all these insane stunts, so these films are good for that, and I think he's good in them. So I am excited for these. A little disappointed that they're pushed back, but I get it. The next story we have is Jason Momoa in talks to play the villain in Fast and Furious 10. The ongoing Fast and Furious franchise will be continuing with a confirmed 10th installment. Recently, The Hollywood Reporter reported that Jason Momoa is in final negotiations to play the villain in the film. Although nothing from Momoa and Universal has been confirmed, this story has a possibility of being true. The film is due to arrive in cinemas May of 2023. So, as far as this news goes, I'm not the biggest spokesperson for Fast and Furious. I haven't really watched any of these movies. They look really fun and really dumb, but they look like they could be a lot of fun. And Jason Momoa coming in, he was great in Aquaman, and he brought a lot of charisma to that film, and I think he could do the same here. Because he's a very charismatic actor, especially as a villain. Seeing him in a villain kind of role, I haven't really seen him in a villain role, so that would be kind of exciting. Yeah, I'm excited for that. Whether or not this is true, I think this is probably true. I don't see why some of these new studios would have a reason to lie, especially if he is in final negotiations to play the villain in the film. It kind of makes sense because Dave Bautista was in talks to play Fast and Furious, and if I'm not mistaken, I think he commented about it or something like that. And Jason Momoa, I think, was also talking about being in Fast and Furious. It kind of makes sense, so I don't think this is untrue. The next news story we have is Doctor Strange into the Multiverse of Madness and its trailer. Doctor Strange 2 recently had a trailer drop during the Super Bowl Sunday on February 13th. This trailer went more in depth with the film's darker tone, trippy visuals, and appearances from characters across the multiverse. The film is set to release in theaters on May 6th. And I'm really excited because this looks like it's going to have a lot to do with the Illuminati. In the comics, that was a gathering of a bunch of different heroes. I don't know exactly what they did because I never read it, but I remember seeing some of the covers. So it looks like it's going to be taking cues from that. And it's also going to be a crash in on the multiverse because in this trailer you also see zombie variants of both Doctor Strange and Wanda, at least what it appears to be. There was also another TV spot that released after the trailer during the Super Bowl as well, and it showed more shots of new character America Chavez and another shot of a new Doctor Strange variant. I think people have called him Defender Strange or whatever because it's like an action figure that got released, and he got a shot in one of those teasers. And this trailer got me a lot more excited than the one that released alongside No Way Home because that was relatively a teaser trailer, and it gave a little tease of some of the trippy visuals and stuff. But what I do want to say about this trailer is a lot that has been missing in Marvel has been the style and the personality in a lot of the movies. Because it is a continuous universe and it's so closely knitted together, it has lost a lot of its personality as a result. And luckily, with Sam Raimi directing this movie, the same guy who directed the Spider-Man trilogy, I can't wait for this because he looks like he's injected just everything Sam Raimi into this film. It's got horror, it's got goofy looking scenes, it has so much style and personality. There's a lot more practical effects that I've seen in this trailer than I've seen in most other Marvel movies, which is insane. So I'm really excited for this movie and I can't wait. Lastly, I want to talk about the Batman, just in general. The story I have here was about the themes for some of the characters and the clips that got released, but a lot of those are old news. I'll obviously be compiling them into this discussion, but in general, I just want this to be a highlight of that movie because there have been a lot of new posters, teasers, little TV spots. There have been so many things in regards to this movie. Real quick, I just want to comment on some of the new stuff, like the clips and the themes for the characters. So the official theme for Batman and the Riddler just got released, and relatively a month ago, I want to say. And I think both themes are really unique. The Batman's theme sounds like a meshing of both the Danny Elfman theme from the Batman Tim Burton movies, as well as the Hans Zimmer epic feel that he gave and the epic weight that he gave to those themes in both his Zack Snyder films and the Dark Knight trilogy. So it seems like a combination of all the best Batman themes, and I'm really excited for this. I'm excited for Batman in general, but just this theme gets me a lot more hyped. In regards to the Riddler's theme, when I first heard it, I did think that it could have been maybe a little bit more ominous because it kind of builds into this explosive villain theme, and when it got to that moment when the trumpets are roaring and it's just loud and bombastic, I always a part of me thought that it sounded a lot like his work from Far From Home and Homecoming, which isn't really a bad thing because I mean he's obviously the guy who scored those movies, but I can't help but feel that it kind of sounds like other things. It's not a bad theme. I think it's loomy. It's eerie enough, and I think it's good. But I was expecting just something a little bit more creepy. Doesn't take away from my enjoyment and my hype for the movie. I'm still gonna go see it, and this is still my most anticipated movie for 2022, and I can't wait. In regards to the clip that got released, this is relatively old. This has been kind of a month in the making, but the scene shows Bruce Wayne attending a funeral for a government official. We don't really have too much information on that, but a car comes crashing through the crowd of people, and you see the Riddler up top, and he's obviously the one who schemed this. And it's a nice little clip that has a guy walk out of the car, and at first you think you might see like Riddler himself or one of his goons, but it's actually a dude with a bomb strapped to his neck and a note on his chest to the Batman. In all seriousness, I can't wait for this movie, and I think that clip was dark enough. They built the tension well. I like how before the car comes crashing through, you can hear like the screams and what sounds like gunshots out in the streets, and it just kind of builds and builds, and you're just like, what's going on? And then a car comes driving through a funeral. It's cool. The movie will release exclusively in theaters on March 4th, and this remains my most anticipated movie for 2022. That's all I have for today, though. Thank you for watching. Post a comment down in the comments below. Please keep it PG. Make sure to leave a like on this video and subscribe if you're new and you enjoyed this video. Again, I want to give one last thanks to both of my sponsors, Grace Bar and Sweet Treats by Jess. Thank you for sponsoring this video. It wouldn't be possible without y'all. Appreciate it. That will do it for today.